2, ready, and. Many of the songs that you learn on any instrument when you start are folk songs, because usually the tunes are fairly easy. And part of that is because it was easier to remember them as they're passed down. So the next folk song we're going to do is a folk song from France called Eclair de la Lune. This folk song hasn't changed a whole lot. I haven't heard a lot of variations of this folk song. So this is one you might be very familiar with, and if your child has ever played another instrument, if you've had a child who's played an instrument, you've probably heard this one ad nauseum on whatever instrument. Whatever instrument your children have played. So here it is again, Eclair de la Lune. You guys remember we're taking the read? Okay. Here we go. 1, 2, ready, and. The next piece is also a folk song, to keep our folk song theme going today. Now this folk song in our book is just called Slavonic folk song. It's an Eastern European folk song. I have no idea what it is. I've never heard it outside of this book. So it's probably a Czech folk song, but I'm just totally guessing. And it's just some reason for me to talk. So alright, so we're going to play you Slavonic folk song. You guys remember to repeat on this one too. You ready? Not too fast. 1, 2, ready, and. Is that what it is?
No, I just...
Mr. Foster chiming in. Always with wrong information. No. All right. Well, our last song today is the melody from Beethoven's Ninth Symphony, very famous Ode to Joy, which again is slightly modified in this book. I just want to say a couple things before we go. I hope your children enjoyed this program. I know I enjoyed coming over and teaching them in the morning. There are a couple things that you need to know about the string program, though. As we move forward into the summer, community education is offering some string camps and some band camps. The pamphlet I just handed to your children have all the information on that. I believe it's also in the larger summer book that you should get home in your Friday folder. I believe everyone gets those. So consider taking a look at the string camp if your children are planning on continuing. If your children are planning on switching instruments to a different instrument, specifically a band instrument, they're starting brand new band students this summer in the summer band program, and actually Mr. Fossa will be the one starting them. And I know your children know him because, and he's right back there, so he can wave, because he teaches them in music class. But he'll be starting brand new band students, so if any of them are going to switch to, say, trombone or tuba, I know Mr. Fossa would be very excited to have them. If they're planning on continuing, though, we have the string teachers from the middle school, Mrs. Marchioni and Mrs. Heffentrager, who are fantastic string teachers, who are going to be running the string camp. And that'll be a great experience, especially for those who have experience before coming to camp here. So that might be an interesting experience for any of your children. And also, if you're interested in taking lessons through the summer, contact me and I can tell you who I'd recommend for them. So if you have any questions at all, you can email me. I'm also going to email all of you parents who have been receiving my email to try to let you know who's going to be the teachers here next year, because it keeps shuffling. I think right now it's the string teacher, Mrs. Davidovich, and Mr. Foss is teaching band. I think we're thinking it's going to stay the same for next year, but as soon as we know for sure, I'll email all of you so you know who to contact if your children are planning on continuing. And I know that they are going to do an instrument drive in the spring here. So if your child is interested in continuing to play the instrument that they're playing now, or thinking about choosing a different instrument, Mr. Fossa and Mrs. Davidovich would be the people that they would talk to about that. All right? So here's our last piece, Ode to Joy. Ready? What's that?
Okay,
Here we go. 1, 2, ready, and... Thank you very much for coming this morning. I know some of you had to make adjustments to your schedule to be able to come and listen to our short concert this morning, so thank you for coming in. Please feel free to send me an email if you have any questions about next year, and I'll try to direct you to the people who can best answer those questions for you. All right, so thank you again.